Mufuna wanga, ndine mufuna wa mbilu yanu. Ndiyafulufela uri luṅwalo holu lu ḓo mu wana a zwavhuḓi ḓinga ḽa mbilu yanga. Zwi pfala unga ho no tou fhela na ṅwaha ndi sathu mu vhona mufuna wanga. Ndi khou takala uri ndi ḓo mu vhona hu si kale. Ndo fhedza u ṅwala milingo ṋamusi nga matsheloni. A ri ṱangane fhaḽa fhethu hashi hune ra ṱangana hone nga misi. Thi tsha kona no mu lindela u mu vhona. Wanu mufunwa, Mashudu.
Sanmonani, Molweni, good morning. Absheng, Tobela, Dumelang, Lochani, Goeiemorgen, Dimacheroni. It was Nelson Mandela who once said, if you speak to a man in a language he understands, it goes to his head. But if you speak to him in his language, it goes to his heart. South Africa has got 11 official languages, so we'd like to know how many languages other than your mother tongue can you speak? Today on Talk SA, we're talking about multilingualism and the preservation of our indigenous languages.
Molaotheo wa Afrika Borwa o kentswe molaong ka di 4 tsa February 1994. O sebetse ka maleme a shongwe. Seburu, Senyesemane, Sendebele, Sexhosa, Sezulu, Sepedi, Sesotho, Setswana, Seswati, Sevenda, Setsonga. Naha ya rona e tshepisa maleme ana kaofela ho fasafasana. Empa re botsa lona hore e ka ba le tseba ho bua maleme a feng.
The thing is Nyawezwa, but I can't speak. Yeah.
But uyazama ngithi bana leyo nto ukuthi amaZulu awafuni ukufunda amanye ama-language.
Yeah, bengicabanga kanjalo nami before. Manje sengiyabona ukuthi kubalulekile ukwazi amanye ama-language so that you can communicate.
What language is safe for? Sepedi, Setswana, English, and Tsonga, my home language.
Yeah. And key a thing that's hard to learn.
Well, I think it's Tsonga. I mean, there are not a lot of Tsonga people around, and you have to do a lot of stuff yourself. You have to investigate, research, and all this stuff. Yeah.
Zita uri u kono u ḓivha nyambo nnzhi dza different hai uri u ḓivhe luambo lwa u fhedzi. U funa uri u ḓivhe nyambo dzoṱhe u itela u tshi vho ita dzi interview u tshi tshimbila. U funa uri mini u khou ḓivha language dzoṱhe u fhirisa luambo lwanga.
Wena ucabanga ukuthi yiphi language elula ukuthi uyifunde?
I think it's Sotho.
Yes.
No, yeah, it's Sotho, yeah.
Yeah.
Like we met like 3 months ago, but singakhona ukukhuluma. Yes.
Oh, okay. And ningathini kwabanye abathi hi mina ngi-right nesingisi sami hakibuwa sikhuwa ngi-sharp. There's no need to speak any other language.
Uyasala hayi. Ngizocommunicate kanjani nabanye abantu?
Asiqhubekeni sikhulume South Africa.
Ha ho bohlokwa ho bua puo e felletse. Ho bohlokwa ho ikgathatsa ka ho ithuta ho utlwisisa puo e seng ya hao. Yeo ke pale ya Jimmy Mudau.
My birth name would be James Thomas Michael Burt. The name I use now in Alexander is it's just Jimmy Mudau. That came about by when I originally came around here. I had a friend of mine called Simon Mudau. We used to work next door to each other, and he's the first person that ever invited me around to his house. And we used to make it a regular thing. I'd come around just to visit. I know his wife and his children. And then we went to visit in Venda, and his father in Venda used to go around bragging, "This is my white son." So I was kind of like adopted into the Mudau family from Tsianda in Venda. I've lived in Alexander, shall I say, permanently, I would say since 1991. But on and off since I came back from England in 1988. I've been in and out of Alexander, but I think I gave up living by myself in about 91 and started to stay in Alexander.
Okay, mina no Jimmy Slangane inyilanga bengihlabwe ngemes ngomunye ubhoti laphaya mara uJimmy ngiyazi ukuthi vele uhlala next door mara sobe singazwani ngonkulume nani vele ngangijoyelanga nena ngithatha ngisesibhedlela lapha eklinika la ePen kuthi wangistisha kusela lokho vele sobe wangana sebenza sonke sezokwenza yonke into sonke sebenzisa isiVenda iZulu neAfrikaans and English.
I wanted to start a school at one stage, and then I thought, nah, man, I can't because I can't speak the languages fluently enough. But you understand, if you can understand, you can actually get by. This is where I actually stay in Alexander. So, Aritua, Oshebom Kukuyam. All right. I vugile. Kogok. Yangena. Zakia, Singen. Vula Miango. Vula Miango. Yeah, key. This is Sputnik. She's like I'll say my sister, and this is where we stay. And this is why we speak all our different languages. We try and teach the children as best we can. But just take your picture. Well.
Enweni netela zwithu zwinchi nisidiba hore na nene machero nine ndo nitela atire. That's why ntoda hore ndzole na inu every time na inu zwithu zwothe reta zwo.
Okay, now you want me to answer you in English. The thing what I want from everybody is to try and learn another man's language. Because if you can understand someone, like I understand Bongani when he speaks to me, then you can get on and stop fighting amongst each other. For what reasons? Just because somebody doesn't speak your language does not mean he's immature, he's stupid, he's an outsider, he's whatever. You know, people can't speak English, people can't speak Zulu, but we should at least try. If we can start just by saying Machoroni, Masiari, Lokobela, or Dumelise, or Sanbonani, that's a start. If you can say 1, 2, if you can just say Dalipua, thank you. If you can start with words like that, then I think we could actually keep talking.
For me, it's very important because my son Puyani is adopted.
Ha toke se yo khutla re utlwa hantle hore boikarabelo ba batswadi bo fella kae ha ho tla ho fetisitso ya puo baneng.
Saqala ke manje igcina amasiko Arts and Heritage Trust. Ngicabanga ukuthi asibagqugquzela abantwana bethu bese bancane.
Languages are in danger. The 2011 census reported that there was a decline in languages like isiZulu, Sepedi, Setswana, Sesotho, and Iswati. Will we ever get to a place in South Africa where all our languages are equally spoken? Come with us as we explore different methods of preserving our languages and promoting multilingualism.
Hotwe le kojwa le salemetsi seo ke sona se etalang Amali Academy for African Languages and Culture ho rutwa bana maleme a fapaneng.
We always felt that when they get into the school system from grade R upwards, that the school system will help us to solve the problem of our kids not speaking any vernacular. And I mean, we did try at home, but the problem is, of course, that I'm English speaking in Afrikaans and Usi so speak Zulu, so we couldn't really, the common language was English. So when my eldest son, Yandisa, started grade 1, and we realized that there's no Zulu in Offa, and that was our language of choice at his school. It's a public school. We then decided that we need to do something ourselves because the school system wasn't going to help us.
Zulu was definitely going to be done because I'm Zulu and I had a desire to have my children speak Zulu. But more importantly, it has been determined by the demand that has come from parents and requests that have come from parents. We've had several demands for, Venda, Shangan, and so forth, and we said, look, as long as we get the numbers, for
then we
kids
start a language.
Then we can start and, recruit the teachers.
And when we started in September last year, we initially said, okay, we're going to kick off our first month with Zulu and Sesotho because those are the languages that were common to us and what we found the other parents wanted. But literally by the third weekend, we had isiXhosa coming through, and then we started Setswana, and those have been the 4 languages that we've done since. We have mixed kids that come from mixed race couples. So you have a father who's Indian and maybe the mother who's black, or we've got white and black, or colored and black. So immediately when you have that situation, there's already language problems. And most of the time, one of the parents would say, look, we really want the kids to learn a language other than English. And then, there's the interracial as well as interlanguage couples. So those are majority of the kind of kids that we're seeing coming through.
It's been quite a phenomenal response, I think initially they just wanted to have their children have an awareness for other languages, but they are so surprised when the kids have grown in confidence of wanting to speak the language. And you may find that in some instances the kids knew how to say 1 or 2 words, but they were shy and not very confident of speaking the language. But now that they come here, which it boosts your confidence, and it's also very conversational. So you've had a lot of kids coming out and wanting to speak it. So the responses from parents has been quite overwhelming and quite exciting and quite good to know that we're making quite a positive difference.
I had the advantage of having grown up in Soweto, and it was very much Vernac, so I can fluently speak, understand, write isiZulu, but I fear that I'm not passing on that knowledge to my daughter, which is her rightful privilege. That's who she is, that's what her identity is, and I felt it was very important for her to start learning isiZulu. Yes, we practice at home, but I just needed that extra sort of comfort, that extra push for her to really take it quite seriously.
Well, I'm multilingual. I've seen the benefits of it. Calvin is also multilingual.
But I sort of come from the opposite background, because in my community growing up as African Americans, we didn't have the opportunity to have our African languages, so it was lost to us. So for me, it's a very important part of cultural identity and heritage, and it's a very important asset for, I think, our family and our children.
I think we need to take responsibility, and we encourage our parents. We ask them, yes, they come on a Saturday, but please do as much as you can during the week. And the good thing is that they are now taking on that responsibility of saying it's up to us, because no one else is going to do it for us.
For me, it's very important because my son Vuyani is adopted, and so his cultural background is different to my cultural background, so I can't necessarily teach him the language, but I think it's very important that he does get exposed to the language, and he learns to speak it, and also learns about the culture that goes with the language itself.
Uma ngabe ngikhumbula kahle kwakuyizikhathi zo-1991 la ngangizwa khona ukuthi khona into engibizayo ukubona umuntu mayezothwasa isangoma uyabizwa ngacela uMany who was the managing director eMarket Theatre ukuthi akanginikeze impela sonto eyodwa ke sishaya inganekwane lapho sabiza omama Winnie Mahlangu babekhona lapho wena iSpedi ngapha iSuthu ngapha isiXhosa ngapha isiZulu ngapha siyayididiyela nje kumnandi kuyafiwa ukusukela ngaleso sikhathi kwakuyiphasika mangaba ngikhumbula kahle sathokoza into eyisimanga ngazibonela ukuthi iningizimu Afrika ithi yebo exoxweni kwezinganekwane nokujatshulelwa kwezilwimi ezihlukene. So impilo yami yonke igxile ekutheni izilwimi azikhulunywe zithokozelwe. Manje masenza lo msebenzi lo ngokuhamba kwesikhathi kwatholakala ukuthi kudingeka mhlambe ngizothi into eyi-umbrella body ezoba umama walezi zinto eziningi esizenzayo. saqala ke manje igcina amasiko Arts and Heritage Trust. Ngicabanga ukuthi asibagqugquzela abantwana bethu bese bancane ngoba usemncane awunazo izinkinga eziningi njengomuntu omdala ocabanga ukuthi angakhokha ibhili yetelefoni konje osiyami into ezothwana intela ke nayo nangu SARS ungiphekile uyangephula lana sinesiqubulo kulonyaka 2013 iqubulo sithi shay izandla shay izandla khuluma ulimi lakho ngothando khuluma ulimi lakho ngothando shay izandla shay izandla khuluma ulimi lakho ngothando khuluma ulimi lakho ngothando masenza leso siqubulo cabanga nje izingane 800 izingane zenza into eyodwa sishaya izandla lapho zigxuma zisina zidansa zenzani abanye baqhamuke ngesisuthu omunye aze nayo ngesitswana omunye aze nayo ngechivenda hawo man sitsonga kube mnandi kudele abafika ngesibhunu lapho hey bayaprata ngiyakutshela dadewethu kababa ngizothi nje kumele sibuyele ezilwimini zethu sigqaje ngazo siyithande ngoba mongenalo ulwimi lakho ungenalo isiko lakho umthetho wakho ubani
puo e amana le setso e o jwetsa hore motho o tswa kae le hore o ya kae ha thoke se ikgutla aya o teng kitchening le bontate ba ikgathatsang haholo ka maleme a fapaneng a Afrika
amohela hape hona mo Talk SA ka jeno mo kitchen tea ya lona re bua le ntate Masenya Dikotla, who is the CEO of Molteno Institute for Language and Literacy, and we also have Dr. Tukwane, who is the head of research, evaluation and monitoring for PanSalv. Really amohela. Yeah. So the University of KwaZulu-Natal has made a decision that all first-year students will be forced to learn isiZulu. What do you think about that decision?
Lama thomo re abaleburish. Ba khonne go nagana. Re ka re ga se go ba gapeletša go ba thusha ka re bana ba ba timetša ba tsora mo kae. So gatwe University ya KwaZulu-Natal e tšereo ke gatwe bohlokwa ya ba lokolla. Ha se go ba gapeletša go ba lokolla mo ba leng gona ka re ba tsora ba ga ba timetše.
Date o nahana eng ka decision ya UKZN?
Tobela Sisia San Ayanda ke nagana gore ke kgato ya maleba e tšerego ke University ya KwaZulu-Natal. Ebile ke gopola gore le di university tše dingwe di swantše gore di tšeele mohlala mo university yeo gobane go tseba maleme a Afrika Borwa ke ntlha ya mathomo ya go kwešišana ga batho ba Afrika Borwa.
And you know, Dr. Tukwane, Prof. Jansen unahana hore, it's not such a great idea because students battle already liskhua. How much more ka language engwe? What do you think about opinion A?
Mogopolo mogala yo o fošagetše. Ga tsebe sa se bolela yana o bolela sekgowa. Bana ba leng kwa Zulu Natal bontši wa bona ba bolela seZulu go ba bolela Sepedi ke percent e nyane fela e leng gore ka ga bo bona ba bolela sekgowa ga re sekgowa o ra English ga bolele ka Afrikaans jwale ga ka ba kwešiša ka gore ke mo professor a yena o ba sentse go kwešiša gore thuto e tsena gabotse ge moithuti a ithuta ka leleme la gabo bana ba ba tswa ka gae ba bolela seZulu ga ba fihla mo le ga re se battle already ke battle ya gore ba tloge seZulu mola ba nagana ka seZulu ba ithute ka sekgowa jwale mogopolo wa go fošagetša re a swanela o šala morago.
Ntate, census year 2011, there's a decline of official languages being spoken. Unahana inkaseu, is it true renali a problem in terms of our indigenous languages are not being spoken enough?
Ke nnete seo sesi gobane maleme a batho ba Afrika Borwa a fitlhile mo e leng gore a ka hwa nako engwe le engwe se se tlholwa ke gore gantši batswadi ba bantši kudu-kudu ba ipotša gore ba rutegile ga ba sa bolela maleme a bona ka gae ba bolela dikgowa le tše dingwe eupša le ko dikolong kudu-kudu tša dikolo tša ko ditoropong tše di bitšwa gore be le Model C bana ga ba bolele polelo ga bona ebile ga ba e dire bjale ka engwe ya dithuto bjale ge ba sa e bolele ka gae ebile ba sa e bolele le ko sekolong ebile ba sa e dire bjale ka thuto tshwanelo ke gore e tla hwelela maleme ao a tla hwelela ene gore a hwelele ke bothata jo bogolo gore Afrika e latlhegelwe ke maleme a yona go ra gore le setšo sa yona se tla fofa ka lefastere.
Exactly. And how nahana to know mother tongue ya hao? Is it beneficiary ko mosebetsing? Does it help you career-wise? Or is it irrelevant?
Ge ke lebeletše go tseba mother tongue ga gago go bohlokwa le go feta go thoma ka gae le go ya ko mmerekong ntlha ya mathomo ngwana o a tsebago go bolela polelo ya gagwe ka gae go bonolo go yena go ithuta polelo ya motho yo mongwe ka fao o tlo kgona go ithuta sekgowa gabotse ebile o tlo kgona le gore a ya boledišane le ba bangwe ge go kgonega ka sekgowa goba ka polelo ye nngwe ba ka tseba ya gabo ebile le yena o tla tseba ya gabo bona.
When I started learning Sesotho, I got but oh, don't speak our language, you're messing up our language with a ing. So sometimes as well, but they need to be more accommodating. When somebody is trying to learn a language, we mustn't be critical. We must accept, we've got 11 official languages. Let's accept that somebody is trying to learn. Properly,
nna ke tswa bopedi ga ke tla mo gauteng be ke sa kgone go tseba gore sanibonani today ngiyathetha isizulu ngiyakhuluma isizulu le sixhosa ke se dira bothata bo tswa mo kgaetšedi yaka bo tlišitše ke kgatelelo be gore le mo go yone ge re golwa e be re gola re tseba gore o santse gore o tsene sekolo o ithute sekgowa o tlo kgone go hwetša makgowa a go fe mmereko jale taba e sa le gona ene e dira ke rena batswadi bana ba rena gona bjale ga bane bothata nna ke rutile Sepedi mo Mamelodi bana ba rata go kwa Sepedi go feta English ene ba phasa ka di
exactly.
So re santse re o bolela ga botse re santse re thušane nna a nkebele gore Mazulu nna a sa nthushe be ke ruta maths ka nako e nngwe gomme ga ke sentse gore ke tlhalose bana ba ka Sezulu se se gona ba nthuta bona ba gore ke tle ke kgone ba ruta X plus X.
Exactly. Unfortunately, we've run out of time. There's never enough time, but we can carry on. Sikhulume go Facebook, Talk SA, nago Twitter @TalkSA. Ufihlela nako engwe. Haribueng, let's keep talking SA. Really bogile haholo bona.
Ene wena o shutolo multilingual ke a go. Tswela pele.